It says live.
Okay, yep, here we are.
Okay, we got
All right.
it.
Ah,
These things are confusing, man. I know.
that's just the way it works with me. All right. So, uh, let's see. First thing I want to do is give a trigger warning.
Okay.
I want to make sure people don't come in here and getting feeling upset.
Yeah.
So yeah, we talk about some pretty sensitive subjects today,
Yeah.
particularly child essay. And all right, so you guys know, and thank you for being here.
No
Thank you
problem.
for
Thank you for
watching.
having me.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're so interesting because you know what? I've never met anybody that was affected by Scientology that was never in Scientology.
Right.
For me personally, I've never known anybody like that, and I find that very very interesting.
Right.
To get your viewpoint of what you've been through. And hey, Cricket Cinema, hey, hey. So I want to go deeper into part one.
Okay.
You opened up a big can there, and I was like, I want to digest some more of that and
Right.
just get your story fully out there. And other people may have questions too.
Of course. Yeah.
hmm So you're in control of this. If there's something you don't want to talk about, just say it. And it's cool. And
Right.
balls in your court. All right. So I want to know at what age you were when you were essayed by Scientologists.
I was the first time it happened to me. I was 7,
Wow.
going on 8. I was just about 8 because I was in the 3rd grade, and my father had left us in Florida while he came back here to New York to work for my uncle and a couple other people here that we knew before we moved to Florida. So
Mm,
I was born here in New York. I was born on Long Island, and
nice.
we were moved to Florida very young, and then came back here after the whole bullshit went down when I was about 12 years old.
Okay. Wow.
So we settled in Florida. I was just in the 1st grade, actually the middle of 1st grade. We moved to Clearwater. The beginning of my 1st grade year, we were living in on the other side of Florida with my aunt.
Okay.
So, and then my father found work in Clearwater, and we moved there.
Okay. Now, how many were there that did this to you? Was it just one person?
No,
Oh,
it was
okay.
not just one person. It was one person maybe 2 or 3 times,
Okay.
but there were other people that had grabbed me up and dragged me into their apartments or
That,
into abandoned
that's
closets.
terrifying. That's
Yeah.
terrifying. To
Yeah.
me, that's terrifying.
Hacienda Gardens has in the backs of the apartments where the sliding doors are. Back when we lived there, there was a closet on the outside, and also by your front door, the front door would be here, and then right when you're walking to the into the uh, apartments where the doors are to enter into them is another closet.
Wow.
So, in some of them, and I don't think it was all of them, but most of them. The upstairs didn't, but the downstairs ones did.
Wow.
And there was quite a few times where those downstairs closets I was dragged into as I was walking through the neighborhood.
Oh my
So
God. I'm
yeah,
so
I went through a
sorry.
lot of shit
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
living there.
And
I really did. And when we found like when I went back down in '96 and to see them again, it was enough for me to know what I'd remembered was true.
right.
And
Yeah,
the
we're
way
gonna
they
get into that. Yeah, we're gonna get into that later for sure. And um, so I just want to know the details for you and the audience. If you want to answer it, it's just How many different people were there?
Off the top of my head, as far as I remember, it was about roughly 3 or 4.
Wow, I'm sorry.
One of them was a female too.
Okay. And I just want to say this, to me, it's a stupid question, but right. How did you know there were Scientologists?
I didn't know right away, of
Yep.
course, because we didn't know about them while we were living there and they were there already. We just knew like certain kids went to some private military academy and they didn't attend school with us. So once I started learning about it, and my mom even said these certain kids that I knew were in this private military academy, my mom was like, you can't hang around with them, you can't talk to them, don't play with them, don't look at them, don't answer any questions, and certainly don't go anywhere. Now this was after the fact.
Yeah.
This was when they had completely bought the property, they owned it, and we had to leave because we weren't part of it. Now at that point, my father had been back with us for about maybe a year or two. He came back from New York and came back to us in Florida. So
Okay. Wow. Now, another question is, you mentioned it just a little bit ago, but how did you get in contact with them? Like you said, they dragged you.
There was
And
one time I remember, this was now going back when my father had left us, and it was just my brother, my mother, and myself. And my mom would send me over to certain apartments, and she said, "I know these people from the pool area." So there was a swimming pool there in Hacienda Gardens, and they want you to come over because I need some sugar or we need some milk. And my mom would send me over with a cup. But I remember the one time coming back, it was empty. Like they didn't put any sugar in it. But I was trapped into that apartment for about a good hour. And what had happened to me, I'm honestly lucky I'm alive.
Wow. Hey, I understand that.
And I remember where the apartment itself was, because like we did have friends in that neighborhood that we trusted and we knew they were basically like family, because they were not involved with Scientology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And those were apartments that I knew I could go to. And normally my mom, this is what confused me. Normally my mother would send me over to their apartment to get some sugar or milk or whatever it was, or go over there and or whatever, you know what I mean? And them I knew, because I'm still in contact with one of them now, actually. So
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, we're on Facebook together. She's older. I was friends with her children. Her husband was in the Navy. He passed away, unfortunately. And these are other children that I grew up with. They left Hacienda Gardens before we did, though. So he was moved around due to the Navy, so he had to go other places. But it was not Scientology. It was the real Navy.
Right.
It wasn't the fake space Navy.
Exactly. That's one of the best phrases.
Yeah, he was actually killed in combat. So
okay.
yeah.
Brave. Now, a question I have too is, how old were these people at the time?
At the time, from what I remembered, and then when I'd seen them again, at that point, they were probably in their like mid to late 30s, possibly early
Oh my
40s.
God.
Yeah, a lot older than me.
Wow. You're brave for saying your story.
Thank you.
You've been through a lot. I'm fortunate to not have gone through that. Or I've been through my own stuff, but nothing like
Yeah.
yours. yours and others. And I just want to thank you for being open about it.
No problem. It has to get out there because this cult's got to go down.
It does.
And if
Yeah.
this is what's going to help get it down, then whatever I've got to do, I got to do. If I have to speak to a lawyer or a detective, whatever, I'm all game for it.
That's awesome, man.
'Cause I don't want them here in my county either.
Yep.
They purchased
You're
the building.
powerful. Yeah,
I
you're
don't want them
powerful
around here.
It's nice
Yeah.
for the community to see you, and more.
Yeah.
They know who you are, but I just learned about you last week, and
All right.
hopefully other people are learning about you, and you're very strong.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It took a lot. It's taken a long time to get this far. Believe me, I couldn't even say the words.
Oh,
Whenever somebody would even talk about child SA or rape or anything, I'd cringe. I would just sit there like, I don't even want to hear this conversation. I'd walk away. I'd be like, yeah, okay, I've had enough. I couldn't deal with it. I would like not totally get into detail in some therapy that I was involved with years later. And then I still was not fully ready to let it all loose, basically. So it took a long time. It really did. I'm 49 years old, and I'm just basically really dealing with it now.
That's good to hear. It is.
Yeah.
And, I'm similar. I didn't really see my trauma until recently, too. And I'm 49.
Right.
And, this is what happens to us Gen Xers, I think. And you know what? It's great. I'm glad to have it now than later.
Yes. Yes. And I'm glad I'm kind of working through these things while I'm not in the middle of like working on a job or doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now I have the time. I'm retired. I'm done. I don't, no more for me. I took that and I ran with the retirement for me. It's like, okay, gonna let me retire now. I'm more than happy to.
Yeah, man. I get it.
Time to relax. Like I killed my body doing the things that I've done just in life in general. I really, my body's physically taking a beating.
Yeah, man. Live your best life. Now, I have to ask this, like, if you feel like answering it, did you try to get help when these things were happening? Like, did you talk to certain people, or did you talk to your mother?
Like when I was a kid?
Yeah, like when this started happening to you.
A subject did come up, being that I want to say my father had already come back from New York at this point, and I was playing with some kids, and of course I was so young, but I was asking certain questions and doing things to other kids that were not normal for a child to do. So it got brought up. Another parent came to my mother and said something, and my mom's answer to me or explanation to me was, and my father's attitude now that I'm older, I'm pretty pissed, because the subject that was brought up, and from what I remember, my mom was like, oh, I could get you a book, you could read about it. And my father was like, oh, boys will be boys, and that was kind of their attitude. And as I got older, that killed me.
Actually, though, what's fucked up is that he would say that about pedophiles or,
Right.
Am I right?
That's why later on in life I questioned them.
I'm sorry you had to go through that, man.
It's a part of my life that I have to learn to deal with, unfortunately. And I had a lot of resentments towards them.
We learn from everything. Yeah. A lot of resentment, sure.
Yeah, a lot.
Sure.
Because like in my eyes, my father was protecting them from what they were doing to me, and I was little. I was a little kid. I just wanted to be a kid. I didn't want any part of this bullshit. But like I said, at that point, we didn't know it was Scientology.
Right.
And that's what kind of makes me wonder about like my mother's position in it. While my father was gone and left us, we were gone without him for about a year. and he was up here, so he didn't physically. All we had was phone conversations with him. You know, it wasn't like he was physically there.
Mm-hmm.
And what was I getting at? So, but yeah, it was disturbing, and like I said, he didn't really know the blunt of everything. And when I tried to talk to them, it was basically just shrugged off. So I don't know if
Oh,
my
man.
mother was being brainwashed by these people and she had no clue. You know, because it happened to me
Um,
later on. Like I had no clue. I didn't suspect the woman I was working for when I went back in '96. I didn't suspect anything of her being a Scientologist, and she was. She
yeah.
was a very high up level where she,
Oh, wow.
I guess you could call a public Scientologist. She was in the she was in a local neighborhood.
It leads me to my other questions. Do you know these criminals' names? And you don't
I,
have to say them. You don't have to say them, but do you know them?
I don't remember their names. I remember the apartments and the which
Yep.
buildings they were in. I remember that. That I remember. As far as names, it was so long ago. I don't even remember.
Yep.
I
I
don't.
bet you. I bet you, if you wanted to, there's probably people in this community who could help you out with the locations.
With the
Just if you wanted
locations,
to.
they may know who. You know, it's people who are no longer there that were there then.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, let me see here. So, do you think if you saw these people today, you could identify them?
Um. I mean, with age, I mean, I remember when I'd seen them in '96, I recognized them, and they did look, but they did look older.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's going to be a factor. But their voice, and
that's what I'm saying. Who's to say they're even still alive today?
oh yeah, right,
You know, because
right.
when I was down there in '96, a story broke out in the paper how the Scientologists shoved a guy into a closet and starved him to death.
Oh my God.
There was a few things. So when I found Mike Rinder and all them on YouTube before all this major
Yeah,
movement,
yeah.
I was typing into the chat and I said, I remember a story in 1996 where the Scientologist stuffed someone in a closet and starved him to death. They didn't reply to me. Rinder, none of them, the couple, I forget their names. I don't even follow them anymore.
The Claire Headley and
Yeah. Claire and Matt, George,
Mark Headley,
Mark.
Mark.
Okay. And they didn't even look at my comment. Like you would think if you're someone who's trying to take this down, you take that comment and be like,
I
"Hey,
know
yo,
it becomes the way I try to handle that for myself. I'm in your ballpark. I agree with you. It's almost like it's just a viewpoint. We
yeah,
have our viewpoint and we see it very well. Others have their other viewpoints, and if they're business people, they want to make it that way for them. And
right,
you got to allow that.
right,
But
yeah, right,
but
right,
it gets to be an issue when you feel like they're hindering or
exactly. They're
they're
not who
not
they
doing what
say
they
they.
could do. They're not doing what they could do. Potentially.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
but look, that's a personal choice. Like I can't force someone to do that.
Of
No one
course,
can force me to do that. To be honest, I mean, there's
right.
times when I
It's
want
just
to
that
take a
I
break.
felt it was a very important piece of information as to
It is.
the situation and the stories that were being told. And not only that, but then I remember a woman talking. This was now when I read the article, and this other woman had popped into I was at the Serenity Club where I was hanging out. And another woman came in and said the FBI went in there and took Scientology's guns away from them. And then
Wow.
she chuckled and made a joke about it and said, they'll get them back. And I was like, what do you mean they'll get them back? That's the FBI. You know what I mean? This was in Clearwater, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, the hell kind of cockamamie crap is this? And
Yeah.
then, like a normal young person, I brushed it off, and I kept on going, doing what I was doing until she brought me there, and I was like, woo, yeah, no.
Wow.
You're not roping my ass because I ain't stupid. I might look stupid, but I ain't fucking stupid.
No, you don't look stupid either. You look who you are now.
And I mean, of course, people are curious about it. Everyone is. Like
Dude,
I even
I was such
purchased.
a sucker. I was such a sucker.
I even when I came back to Long Island and I saw them in a flea market here. They had a booth. I bought the book and tried to read it. I couldn't read it.
Oh no, I can't. Hey, I want to make a
I
comment real
don't
quick to
understand
the
it.
audience. Hey, if you guys have questions or comments, feel free to put them down, and we'll read
Yeah,
them,
sure.
especially at the end.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. We'd like to hear any questions you have, if you have any. So let me look here. Oh, okay. This is a tough question, maybe. In what way do you feel this horrific abuse is affecting you now?
How is it affecting me now?
If you feel like answering it, you can,
So, as far as it affecting me anger wise, it still has an effect on me. I still
Yeah.
get very angry and I get very frustrated over it. As far
Yeah.
as I feel like anything will be done about it, I feel like it's just gonna hit deaf ears. And
Yeah.
no one's gonna
Yeah.
care because I was not a Scientologist. I never
Well,
have.
the law would care in the right hands, but just so you
Yeah,
know, and the community
that's
cares
my thing.
too.
I mean, I'm more than happy to talk to a detective, a lawyer,
Yeah,
whatever
that's
the case
awesome.
may be, in order to help shut this fucking place down. Excuse
Yeah.
my language. I'm sorry.
I'm sure there's people in this community. I'm thinking there's people in this community who could help you in that direction if you wanted to. I
I'm
don't know
all
who
game
they
for it.
are, but I'm sure there's somebody, and they'll reach out to you, or we can reach out to them. Reach out. Um, let's see. So on a different note, right? I want you to share with us, if you want to, how this community of ex-Scientologists and anti-Scientologists has helped you. What do you personally find most helpful or useful from this community of ex-Scientologists and anti-Scientologists?
Right.
You know,
Um, the
what do
thing
you find useful?
that actually helped me come out was seeing and hearing that others were doing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were coming out with their stories, and I was like, "Holy shit, that
Yeah.
happened to me too." I know I'm not fabricating somebody else's fucking story because I have no reason to.
Wow.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I got picture perfect proof that I was there in the 80s. I just
Wow.
posted a picture on my community page of what it did really look like before they bought it.
Oh, wow.
Hacienda Gardens, yeah. So I know for a fact what I went through, and I'm certainly not trying to fabricate somebody else's story. So
No, hell
sometimes I
no.
get aggravated because people want to I
Yeah. Yeah.
feel like I've been brushed to the side, like I don't matter.
You know
Whereas
what I
I
think?
could be that one person that you need
Yeah.
to continue going on. And you're gonna brush me to the side and act like I don't matter, and whatever you're feeling in your head. I do have a little bit of a hard time with the ex-Scientologists.
Yeah.
Not so
Yeah.
much.
I can agree with you too. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I'm like, these things happen to other people too. You're not the only one. There's a side of me that feels like they're still in that brainwashed sense where, only me this happened to. It didn't happen to no one else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? There is.
Like
I'm
they're
going to be honest.
blind to the fact.
I can tell you from experience that unwillingly I could ignore all the other traumas out there. It
Okay.
wasn't until this community did I open up to see, oh wow, look at these people's traumas. They're mega,
Yeah. No,
and I've never experienced such a thing, thank the Lord. But
hey, you're lucky. I'm
look,
telling you, it
everybody is
destroys your life.
experiencing things for a reason. You know what I mean? I shouldn't put the Lord in there because
It's okay.
everything's done for a reason. Everything's there.
Yeah.
But anyway, just I'm rambling.
That's okay. That's all right. I do it too.
Let's see. Um, that's pretty much all the questions I had. Do you have anything you'd like to say or, share?
I mean, it's I don't know. It's like I know it's actually I just found out that Manning 8 is a lawyer. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
nice. Okay,
I didn't
that's
know
cool.
that. So I would love to reach out to him and see. I don't know what type of lawyer he could be. He could be some sort of a different type of a lawyer. Who knows?
Okay.
We don't know. And I was asking somebody in the chat while I was watching, and she didn't know either what type of lawyer he is. Is he a criminal lawyer? Is he a defense attorney? Whatever type. There's so many different types of lawyers
Yeah.
out there.
And he
But
might
if
be able
he can
to
help in
refer you.
any way,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Hey, that's cool.
And he's
All
up
right.
here. He's up north by me. He's in
Oh,
Connecticut.
nice. So
Yeah,
if you
he's in
want,
Connecticut.
if he's got his email address, send it
Yeah,
to him. Send him an email. And hopefully he sees this.
yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to read a couple of comments here. All right.
Absolutely.
So from Dorothy Walters. Rogue, with every story, there is healing, both known and unknown. Some share their stories, and some never will, due to the extreme trauma and shame. Thank you for having this calm, welcoming channel. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you so much.
It's
That's what I
true.
want to do. That's what I want to do. And
It's true.
I'm just, I hate to say, I'm just a lowly guy, and I've just got my camera, and
Yeah.
I'm an ex-Scientologist, and I want to just say my story and be real with people, and not ignore the lower guy, not ignore the person who wants to say a story, but has no one reaching down to him.
Right.
I want to give another venue for people who want to speak up. I definitely
Yeah.
want to talk to you.
Yeah, I really do hope that was my whole point. That's why I kept always commenting about the things that I remembered in chats
Yeah,
because I was hoping somebody like what happened to me and Rinder and the other ones chats, there was someone else commenting underneath,
yeah, and they're
triggering me and
filtering it.
going, "No, I remember that. I remember that. I've lived in
Yeah.
Clearwater my whole life."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And it is sad when you see the filtering, like, push aside, because it just feels like a business.
yeah,
And to me, that's disgusting.
yeah,
But you know what? That's a viewpoint. I've never been into money. I just never have been. But, I don't want to say they're bad people. I'm just saying, when you see somebody who needs to be talked to, has a story to share, either
mm-hmm.
take them on with welcoming arms or pass them on to somebody who will,
Who
because
will, right?
they need to be
Right.
this community. This community has to talk. We need to
Yes,
talk.
yes, yeah. People need to.
And
They need to stop being afraid of it. Be strong. Like I mean, I'm from Long Island, so we all called Strong Island, and we don't
yeah,
take no
I like
shit.
that. Yeah.
But it is hard. It's hard. It took me a long time. Like I said, I'm 49 years old, and I'm just starting to come out with this, and I'm
Yeah.
just starting to deal with it within
That's,
literally the past 5 to 6 years. I've been really dealing with it behind closed doors in therapy.
yeah. Yeah. Good job.
Because at
Good
first I
job.
didn't want no part of therapy. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to be bothered.
Good
I
job,
wanted to
though.
live my life, and now I'm at an age, okay. And unfortunately, the unfortunate part of childhood essay and filing lawsuits and things of such is statute of limitations.
Of
Now,
course.
I
Each
don't
state
know.
is different, right? Each state is
Yeah,
different.
each state it's different. I honestly believe that here in New York there are none. We're not sure. I'm working with that with my therapist because she said the same thing to me the last session I had with her. She said, I honestly do remember that. I remember something
Wow.
about statute of limitations coming out saying that, not for nothing, But statute of limitations need to be knocked down because some of this stuff don't come out for
Great.
years later.
When it comes to SA, it should be knocked out. Like, come
And
on,
when
there
you're
should be no
so
statute of
young,
limitations on SA.
there should not be at all. There should be no statute of limitations on it
No
because
way.
when you're so young and that happens to you, you know, and nothing's done, especially people in the 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was pretty much brand new. It really wasn't a thing.
I
like
remember
it is now.
going, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, in the 80s, I remember walking. We were taught as children, the big one was don't take candy from strangers. And
That was
that
taught to
actually,
me after the fact.
that shit worked for me. It saved my ass.
I wish I would have known before what happened to me because I wouldn't have accepted a fucking lollipop from a piece
right,
of shit. Yeah.
right, right.
We didn't learn that till afterwards, so
Hey,
unfortunately.
I know.
Yeah.
So I'm walking in this parking lot. It was like behind the high school. I was a young kid, probably 8 or maybe, yeah, around 8. And my sister was playing softball and, you know, my parents were there. I'm roaming the parking lot, you know, got some adventure.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
Mr. G.I. Joe, you know, I'm all into G.I. Joe.
There you
So
go.
he's this tall guy. You could tell he's got to be like, to me, he looked like a real old guy, but he's probably 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he had 2 girls on his side. And he's like, hey, kid, want some candy? And he was gonna, right? And the girls were like, no, not him, not him.
Wow.
Dude, that's some creepy shit.
That's a close call. You never
Yeah,
know what
man.
that person's intentions were.
He
Good
could
for
have gave me
you.
LSD, could have gave me shrooms. Like, who knows, man?
Could have done even
You know?
something even worse than that.
Just
Yeah.
freaking horrible.
Yep. And you got to figure too, you know, back then when I was in Clearwater, Ted Bundy was just locked up. You know what I mean? They had just caught him, and he was locked up in prison down there. So, you know, there was a lot.
Hey, I'm gonna read some comments here.
Sure.
All right. Hey, Amy M, how you doing?
Oh, Amy.
She had a question. Oh, she said it was me who told you he was a lawyer.
Oh, yes, Amy M. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks.
Yes.
Hey, Power. Hey, Paralyzed. How you doing? Always good to have you. Yeah, exactly. There should be no statute of limitations on.
There shouldn't be, especially because of the type of trauma it puts on a person.
Oh no, it imprints trauma. It's like you're taking this fragile, growing person, and you're crushing it. It's like so.
You crush their trust completely. I never trusted a soul. I had such a hard time with trust.
There's artwork that can really depict the trauma it impinges on a person, but there's so many forms of trauma. It's hard to acknowledge.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what to say to the people who have trauma, except maybe just help and to expose it.
Yeah, and that's my whole journey right now is to help expose, and also to help the ex-Scientologists that have escaped it realize that, you know, they're not alone in this. You know, I know. Trust me, I know. You know, I've been through it. I experienced it too. Even though, and I was not a Scientologist.
It's creepy. You know, when I look back on my staff time, from like 96 to 2011, there were definitely some pervs there. You know, there were a few staff members who were pretty nasty.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen any, you know, child essay or even essay for that matter, but behind closed doors, who knows? You know,
it was like when they brought me into the Fort Harris, where little Sadie, the little boy that, the woman I was working for that brought me in there, he was locked into one of the rooms. I remember which one he was in too. I don't remember the exact number. I just remember where it was. And when he came out of that room, that kid ran to me like, you know, it was like, what the hell?
Dude, that's incredibly important. If you can get the location like you have, it's easy to check the records. That's something you want to check in with a lawyer, or
That's what
wherever.
I said, and like I said, I'm more than game to do it, more than open to do it, especially now at this point in my life because I am
Yeah,
more.
man.
I mean, it's still a hard thing to talk about, but I feel more better about it now, and I'm not
Yeah.
ashamed to show
Yeah.
my face any longer, whereas I used to.
Yep.
I didn't even want to be known.
It's tough.
Even when I would talk to therapists about it, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go back there and talk about this shit again. I don't want to be bothered.
It's
I just
tough.
want to move on. And they kept telling, oh, you could grow from this, you grow from this. And I'm just like, yeah. It's like, I just want to do my thing. I wanted to leave it alone and put it away where I'll never remember. But unfortunately, it don't go away.
Right. Well, here
It'll
we are
never go
today.
away. Yep.
No,
It's
here
part of
we
my
are
life.
today,
I have to
and
deal
we're in a
with.
positive direction,
Right.
All right, let's see what people say here. So Amy says, I love her New York attitude. I used to live in New York. Keep
Yes, you
telling
did.
it like it is.
There
That's
you
right.
go. Yep.
That's right.
Strong Island.
And El Sarmento, these things are also harder to get justice in court.
Yep.
The longer it's been. Absolutely. Yeah, like we were saying, the statute of limitations and
Yep.
whatnot, other factors that might be involved. Corn Freak, hello. Good to see you.
Hey, Corn. Hello, Corn.
Now she called you Lee for Long Island. Now, do you want to be called Lee from now on? Do you want to be called Minnie, or how do you want?
No, it's fine. I mean, everybody was asking me when I did the live yesterday. That's fine. They can still call me Mini Minion. I'm fine with that. It's
That's
all
cool.
good.
All right.
I just want to represent because I am representing my island. I'm
Yeah, it's
representing
awesome.
Long
I
Island.
like your new name. I think it's
Okay,
really cool.
cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's got a good code,
Yeah,
and people who know you know what it means.
exactly. Yeah, and and it's just trying to get the channel out there too. Get people to really see what's going on. The
Absolutely.
video that I took of the footage from the building here in Melville on Long Island, I kept it private for right now. So,
Sure.
Just for
But
now.
that's good footage. That's good to have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm keeping that. I'm keeping it private for now. I mean, if people want access to it, they have to ask me. Of course.
Hey, Corn says, I'll call you Minnie Lee.
There you go.
That's a good one.
That's
Hey,
good.
Cricket has something to say. I've been listening to you, and I wonder if either of you have any thoughts about what you'd like to present on your channels down the line. I enjoy watching interviews. Thanks for this. Well, do you want to go first? Did you have anything particular? I think we touched upon it already, but I want to know, like, more specifically, interviews. I love interviews.
Yeah, I like watching the interviews too.
Yeah, I'm not trained in this. I'm just doing what I can. I'm just talking
Yeah.
and trying to just be real. And
Yeah, this is the first for the both of us. I've never done an interview either, other than chit chatting with Crazy
yeah.
Love is Love on her channel. But it was about starting my channel actually.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it wasn't like in depth like this is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I feel strongly about it, and I feel more comfortable about it too.
That's so good. And you have.
I've been following you for a while now, and I watch your videos.
Oh, that's cool.
Of course. Yep.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I'm always game into that. I feel like supporting each other is the most important part, even for the ex-Scientologists.
Yep.
Hey, listen, we're supporting you, and we want to help with this movement in any way that we possibly can. So yeah, you know what? Click the subscribe button. It's not that hard. It's free.
Yeah, right. Hey, Corn Freak,
and I'm not
agree
monetizing my page. I don't want to be monetized.
I don't either. I honestly, if a person likes it, he's gonna subscribe.
As long as the message
I don't
gets
have
out.
to. That's my preference.
Yeah. That's exactly
if they like it, they'll put like.
There you go. And if you like, I put my nephew did it actually. My nephew put my Cash App under my name, and I'm like, "What are you putting that there for? I don't want people's money." He goes, "Well, you never know." I'm like, "Whatever." He's 19.
Well,
what are you gonna do?
Having
I'm
that
like, I
little
don't
extra
want nothing.
cash.
If I want to do something with this movement, unfortunately I can't do it right away. I gotta wait until I
Yeah.
get the funds to do it, which is fine with me. If we gotta wait, we gotta wait.
Yeah.
And going to
And you
that building
present it.
that they purchased here, it's just a washout. There ain't nothing there. I mean, I expected more. And I was very upset because I did sacrifice an amazing weekend in order to go there. So I was kind of upset. I was hoping to at least see one Scientologist, not
Yeah.
bash them, just talk to them.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
because
That's
I was
cool. I
acting
like that
when I was
attitude.
roaming around there. I was just acting like I was exploring Long Island, and that's pretty
Listen,
much what
that's
I'll continue
perfect.
to do too.
That's a strategy I like too. Is just talk to them. Just talk to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I
And
don't want to bash listen, at the end of the day, they're still a human being. They've
no,
just been
I know.
brainwashed and they don't, some of
That's
them,
right. Yeah, I'm
some
glad
of
you
them have
have
been
that.
in there for decades though. And it's like, you still don't know reality right now.
No, I've been there, and I was once gung ho and totally focused on
Right.
being a Scientologist. Yeah, you really feel like you're just such a small group out of the population that knows the truth, and
Yes.
it's
Or
really
even
fucked
willing
up. Really,
to say what really happens, because
yeah,
I'm
and
not
like,
gonna lie, when I was over there, I was scared. And I was
mhm.
very, very scared to even type into those other channels my portions of my story, because you can't trust the Scientologist. It's such a
No, you can't. You can't. Yeah, a Scientologist can trust a Scientologist, but
right.
not the other way around.
No,
I
no,
mean, you can't trust the public with a Scientologist. It's true.
no, and the New York City reaction to Manning 8 being out there was really epic. I just could. It actually
I
proved me
gotta watch
right.
your stuff.
I said to myself, I said in one of my videos, I was like, it could go both ways with New York. Either they know all about it and want absolutely nothing to do with it and are just like, screw that shit, or they have no clue. But we're not that stupid here. And the
Yep.
reactions of people definitely watch. I was laughing
Hey,
because I was right.
yeah.
I was right. People were just like, "Oh yeah, we already know about that shit. Yeah, that's a cult. We don't want no part of that."
Look,
You know,
having
and,
you
and
on board, yeah.
people were. The funny thing is he kept saying people were asking him if he worked for them. Now he's got a sign that says Scientology's a cult. So I'm going, okay, your typical New Yorker that knows it's, BS might think that you're saying it's a cult to advertise for them because we know it's a cult.
Yeah.
Because I was like, they're asking you if
You-
you work for them. Meanwhile, you're holding a sign that says it's a cult. So that's why I'm saying New York, we're not stupid to this shit. We know. And they got chased out of the town of Sayville once the
oh,
flea market got shut down
no.
anyways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
Oh,
were
they'll
going,
be
and I'd
all
never
inside
seen them
that.
again. So I don't know. I also moved up to the North Shore for a little while, and I didn't see anything up there. Nothing that would cause me to turn a blind, turn my head and be like, oh wait, that's odd. Even my whole trip to and from the building, the only sketchy thing I saw was when I got to the mall to transfer buses. There were those blow up things that kids play in.
Oh, yeah. Bounce
In the
house or whatever.
parking lot of the mall, there was a ton of them and they were all deflated. But that could have just been some sort of a thing for the mall. It's like
Yeah.
I said, here in New York, everybody kind of just does their own thing.
That's
And
cool.
there's a lot of small businesses. There's a lot of, family oriented stuff here in New York.
New York's really cool. It's similar to Boston.
Yeah,
I'd rather be like Long Island, that sounds real nice.
it's
Boston's like the
beautiful
city
here.
that sleeps though, it's cleaner than some areas. But it's
Yeah,
also got that old like brick. I love it. It was
yeah.
so nice.
We
So
call it,
nice.
it's the city that never sleeps. But man, when COVID came around, that city was it was silent. No one has ever seen New York City that quiet.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's
it
wow.
finally fell asleep.
You know what though? You reminded me of something really weird. It'd be fun, if I had the time and patience, I could make a video of it. But when I was on staff one time, I was doing a security shift.
Okay.
This is random, but this is a fun story. And I was watching a movie on my laptop. And this is probably in the early 2000s. And I'm watching one of my favorite movies at the time, which was Vanilla Sky.
Okay.
You ever see that one with Tom Cruise and Penelope Cruz?
No, I don't. Ever since I knew Tom Cruise was a Scientologist, I kind of boycotted. I never watched
Same
any of his.
here.
The only
Same
movie
here.
I ever seen with him was Risky Business and Top Gun, the original Top Gun. I've never even seen the new one.
No, the same here. I can't. I
I
can't
don't
look
watch
at it.
him.
I can't look at him and be entertained at all.
No, me neither. Me neither. I really can't. I'm like looking at him like, and then you're not paying attention to the movie, so it's kind of.
Exactly.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing. You know what really ticked me off too with the whole Danny Masterson thing is my favorite freaking shows was that 70s show and The Ranch.
No, I know. Right. And what was the last one?
The Ranch. It's
Oh,
on
okay. I've
Netflix.
never
Yeah,
seen it. Yeah, I've never seen
they
it.
killed him off in that. They killed
Yeah,
Danny
they
Masterson
had
off in
to.
that because that's when I think it was starting to come
Yep.
out.
Yep.
And then they killed him off in the show, which was okay. But then now there's all kinds of stuff with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, I have not been
They
keeping up
really killed
with.
it because Sam Elliott is in there. I'm a big fan of Sam Elliott. Always have
Who's
been.
that? Who's Sam Elliott?
Sam
I'm not,
Elliott.
I'm showing my age. I don't know these new
You
actors.
don't remember who Sam Elliott is? He played in The Ranch. He was always had gray hair and dark mustache.
Sounds funny.
Yeah, let me find a picture.
I'll have to
of
check
him.
it out. Maybe I just have never
And The
seen it.
Ranch was a good show. It was funny and it was very serious, where it would like be tear jerky.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it was like comedy, reality, and seriousness all in one. And it was a great show. And then all of that happened. And I was just like, yeah, now that's another damn thing I'll never watch again. And and it's like Danny Masterson's sister. I didn't find that out till later on. She was in The Walking Dead and she played a lesbian. The whole Masterson family's in Scientology.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Go figure. And he won't be declared because they'll probably lose the family. They'll probably lose all the big whales.
They'll disconnect.
Yeah. I mean, that's
so
the
he's
big
still
whale.
in good.
It could be down the road. It can be down the road. Doesn't mean it won't happen. The family could just be like, I've had enough. And
Right.
Hey, it's time to come out. It could be one video that finally breaks the camel's back.
That's what I'm saying.
He might see us lowly people, who are not IAS members and shit. He might just see a video and have compassion and just go, damn, that's real.
That's crazy. Wow, that really does happen.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and it's like waiting for that moment to happen. It's like dragging itself. It's like, come on,
I know,
man. When is it gonna happen?
But dude, let's face it. There, like when it started in January or December, due to streets, LA.
Yeah.
This thing has been a fire, and it's just been growing and growing and growing. We got Danny Masterson. That's like this is stuff being torn down. This is a roaring fire, and I like to call it. I like to call it a holy fire personally, but it's like this shit's being exposed. It's being gotten rid of. Like it's getting there. It's getting there. It's still burning, and they can't put it out. It's great. It is great, and So I'm going to read some comments here.
Sure.
Let me see. Hey, it's good to see you, Kirbys Mom.
Oh, Kirbys Mom. Love Kirbys
Yeah.
Mom.
And
She's
a
a
corn
big
freak.
supporter. She's a big supporter, Kirbys Mom.
Yeah, she is. I've seen her in a few different rooms now. I've
Yeah.
gotten to know her.
Yeah,
Cool.
yep. She's always faithful to come into my chat. I love it. It's great.
That's cool.
Even if she's the only one there, I'll still sit there and talk for an hour.
Yeah.
She's
Where's she from?
great company.
You know what I picture when I see Kirbys Mom? I picture Irish. I don't know if you're Irish or not, or where you're from. It's the way you spelled mom. I
Mom,
can just see
yeah.
me.
Like Ireland, she's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, UK.
So Corn Freak says, I prefer interviews like these versus one that follows a format. Yeah, I agree too. I like the rawness of it.
Yeah.
And it just feels more authentic. However, I've got nothing against formatted videos. You know, they still present the information. You know,
Right.
it does depends on the personality behind it. You know.
Of course.
Let's see here. Um, uh, Yeah, I'll figure out who Sam Elliott is. I mean, I'm sure if I saw him, I'd
You ever
recognize
see
him
the
right
movie
away.
Mask?
Yeah,
He's
that
a
was a
man
great movie.
with Cher.
Yeah,
He's
that was a great
yeah.
movie.
He's
Ah,
in the
okay.
movie. Yeah, you know him. Trust
Is
me,
he
you
like
know
that? Oh, is he like that cowboy guy? Like he's got that stash?
biker type guy.
Oh, okay. I probably recognize him. Yeah, I think I
Oh
know
yeah, you definitely would recognize him.
him.
Very popular.
Yeah, Mask was a great movie. Wow.
You know, I haven't seen that in any of the channel profiles. Like you can't find it on um what do you call it? You can't find it on Prime. You can't find it on Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah, that's interesting. I
It's like
wonder.
gone.
I wonder if there's something in there, or Cher doesn't want it out, or who knows, man? Who knows? But
Yeah,
that was a really good movie. It was
it was.
excellent.
It was a great movie.
I remember seeing that on HBO. You know.
Right. Yes, I remember. That's when I first saw it. It was on HBO.
Yeah. Kirby's mom and living in Ireland. Hey, all right.
Yes.
You
Yes.
definitely portrayed that with your name. I got the Ireland.
Yeah.
All right, Corn. We'll see you later.
She's probably
Thanks
working.
for being here. So let's see. Anything else you want to discuss? Anything on your mind?
Whatever you want. It's fine
I
with
know
me.
I'm kind of like just hanging out. I don't really know exactly. Any questions, or if people have topics they want to talk about, they can.
Yeah, absolutely. If the chat wants us to elaborate on things, by all means.
I used to be so secretive, but Minnie is inspiring me to be a little more open. Ah, man, see that?
Good.
You
Who is
see that?
that?
That's proof. That's proof right there.
That is.
That
That's
you.
proof. It's
It's proof.
helping.
Yeah,
God.
everybody's speaking up.
Good.
Everybody talking.
It's
Yeah,
time. It's time. It's time to break the silence.
yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm
Yeah,
going to
me
be
too.
honest. My own perceptions was um, what's stopping the flow of people leaving Scientology? Like, why am
Yes.
I perceiving that? Well, I'm looking at it as a staff member,
Okay.
and I'm looking at it as, man, I remember being in and how bad I wanted to be out, and how I felt I couldn't get out. Like,
Wow.
even though you're living in the real world, well, you can just say F off, and I'm gonna get on a bus and get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
You really could, but not when you're indoctrinated. Not when you're indoctrinated, because you feel it will hurt you. You feel it'll hurt the people around you. And you don't want to hurt your immortal spiritual freedom.
Right. Right.
So effed up. But
It is.
that's really, really the mindset.
Yep.
And unbelievable.
But
So when
it's
the
sad because that's like I said, these are people too. Like, look at you.
yeah,
You were a
that's right.
staff member and you wanted out of there, but felt you couldn't get out. How
Yeah,
many more feel that way too?
a lot. A
I
lot.
yeah,
Now, I can tell you this from experience, and I'm sure there's plenty of people who feel the same who are on staff.
yeah.
You feel like you can't leave because you're that card holding up other cards. And if you go, the rest are going to fall.
Kind of
You know
like
what
the
I'm saying?
render thing. He went, they went, this one went,
Yeah,
that one went, it went all it trickled down like dominoes.
yeah, yeah. But you don't want to be that person causing all that strife
Right,
because you like those people, you care for them. Because
right.
when I was on staff, I loved those people. They were great. I had some good friends there, man. I
Yeah,
would
that's
love
like
to
my
talk to them
point. They're
again.
people. They're people.
Really good people, just in the same boat, you know?
Yeah.
And it'd be cool to talk to them at some point. I'm sure down the years, next year, I'll get in contact with one of them, I hope,
Oh,
you
good.
know,
That would be
one of them.
great to get like, and
Ah, that'd be
that was
awesome.
like my thing too. If someone needed somewhere to hide,
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
after leaving, I'm more than open to it. Trust me, they're not gonna come in my hood.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They'd be stupid to come here. Put it that way.
Right. Right.
It won't end well for them. I can tell you that much. I was just talking to a neighbor before we got on. And I was telling him that I went to that building. He's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh man, what was it like? What was it like?" I was like, "It was empty." He's like, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "I swear to God, it was empty." And then I was telling him about what happened in New York City with Manning 8. And he was like, "Wow." I was like, "Yeah, people don't want nothing to do with it out there. It's not like they're not blind to it. It's not what it's all about. Did not fall on deaf ears.
Yeah. That's
People
really
know
good.
here. It's like she was saying in my chat yesterday. She was like, "Yeah, you guys in New York, you smell shit. You know it's bullshit."
Yep. And they'll say it to you if you push it.
And, oh yeah, they will.
So
I mean,
Amy
I'm
M
not
had
gonna
a
lie. I was very worried about him being in New York City because it is a it's a tough city,
it
you
is
know. But you get the outcome he got was so positive
so
for this
positive.
movement. To be honest with you,
And that's it. That's very powerful. Like, I'd have to body route and be in, well, see, a Scientology term they call it is being flat. Like you don't get a reaction from something anymore. And I did that for years, going out in the street and trying to bring people to go see a movie, which I was successful at times, or doing a personality test. But I do it for years, and I became good at it. Where you can confront, or rather, I shouldn't say the word confront. I don't think it even is confronting. It's like you cannot react, or you can numb yourself and put on the TRs, and you put them on. You got to operate, and you put on the fake communication, the ARC, the Affinity Reality Communication Triangle, all this bullshit from Scientology, and it's all like designed to manipulate, in my opinion. Because
yeah,
there's nothing there that's true. It's like a salesman talking to somebody. They're not 100% sincere.
yeah,
Or you
right,
can,
because they're
yeah,
trying
or
to
you can
sell you a
tell.
product.
Mhm.
They're gonna go in every roundabout way to get you to buy it.
Yeah. Hey, I got some comments here, and
Sure.
one of them is from my wife too. But
Oh,
first,
okay.
I want to read one from Amy M. She says, MD Media 18 gave the police some education yesterday on the cult. I think it's so important to educate the police on its dangers. That's nice. Real nice. I've got to
That's
see
really
that
nice.
video. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Now Kirby's okay. Let's see. Hey, Crazy Love is Love. Hello.
Hey, crazy love.
Here's my honey, Luana.
Okay.
So she says it's so liberating to be a witness of how, in this platform, with your stories, and speak up of the abuse you guys are healing together.
Aw.
Sending strength, love, Lee, and all of you. That's really
Aw,
nice.
that's
Thanks, buddy.
nice.
You have to be a really good salesman to butter out. Yeah, you do. You do.
Seems that way. I mean, from what I see now, especially now, because in New York City, it doesn't seem like they do much bounty routing out there. Because they could have been. You never know what could have happened out there. And like I said, people in New York City sometimes can be pretty crazy. If they don't like something, you better be
Oh yeah.
careful.
No,
Make
same.
sure you do one of these and look over your shoulder, because you never know who's coming behind you.
Bostonians are very similar. Very
Yeah.
similar.
Oh yeah,
Very
Boston,
similar.
between Boston, Chicago, and New York, we're all kind
Yeah.
of the same.
Right.
We're
Right.
the same breed of people, pretty
We're
much. You
triplets.
know? Yeah, we know bullshit when it's coming.
Yeah, we carry a certain attitude. It's
Exactly.
funny.
Exactly.
All
Yeah.
right, so here's Crazy Love is Love. She says, it's amazing how many people have come together and become friends and the amazing things that have become of the strong people who have chosen to share their story. It is amazing.
It
And
is.
we are going to build it. My intention is to build it with those who want to speak up
Hmm.
and can't find anybody. I'm available. And
Right.
also to those who've never been in Scientology but are helping us. I
Right.
want to talk to them. They deserve a lot of attention, and I would
And
love to interview them. So
yeah,
anyone listening,
absolutely. I mean,
yeah,
because like I said,
I don't think they get
something in
any.
my story could trigger someone else to come forward.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Hey,
Someone
look,
in my situation who was a never in, that was abused by Scientology. This is,
yeah,
I'm not trying to force anyone, of course, because it's a very, very difficult thing to have to deal with. But this is our time to shine.
that's right. Yeah,
You know?
it's in momentum. It's going. The
Yeah,
fire's burning.
it's slowly, but
Fire is
it's
burning.
going. It's getting there. Things are
I'm
starting to come
growing
out.
in protest. You're growing in protest. What do you
Yeah,
think other people are doing too? We're not the only two who are growing in this protest. It's
exactly,
amazing. This is a
exactly.
fire that keeps on growing. I love it. So, and it's because it has to deal with truth. You can say your truth without having to be so ashamed. You've got your group who understands you, and you can find the people that you feel most comfortable with. There's different kinds of people here in this group. You can
Oh
find
yeah,
the ones
yeah.
that are best for you, and make friends.
Yeah,
It's
and
it's
that's
pretty
like I've even
awesome.
said, my nephew did put my email in there too underneath my name. So he was tinkering around with my my YouTube channel trying to help me figure it out,
Ah,
you
okay.
know. And if they want to reach out to me through email, I'll be more than happy to even send you my phone number, call
That's
me,
cool.
text me
Yeah,
anytime.
nice.
I'm always game for it. I'm like that when it comes to my own friends.
Yeah, yeah.
You
No,
need
that's
someone to
cool.
talk to at 3, 4 in the morning, and you're calling me at that hour. I know something's wrong. I'll answer the phone.
Oh, that's awesome. That is really
I'm
cool.
always like, yeah, I'm like that with my friends. People that I keep very close to me. Need
I'll make sure
anything,
I
and
get
I'm
your
able to
number.
do it. Yeah.
Hey, you said 3 or 4 in the morning. I'll make sure I get your number. You never know.
I'll be like, whoa, okay. I'm a little sleepy, but what do you want? What's up? Everything all right? You good?
Hello. All right. So let me see here. Amy M says they have the booths for their front groups at the New York City street fairs, of course. Cubs showed that when he was in New York City last.
Okay, so
Yeah,
they do
yeah,
have
it's a
some.
typical. I remember that. It was a pain in the ass. Just gonna give you a behind the scenes look. At
Okay.
least I think all orgs probably feel this way. Here's an all hands effort. It's not like, hey, they have staff members just for this. You'd be already doing your post, and they'd be like, hey, we need you for Sunday to go sell books. You're on the list. Oh, you too, you too. Yeah, you got to be there at 12 to 5. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, hey, I got another job, or, I got to
Right,
do
right,
something
right.
else, or I want to just live a little bit.
Of course. Yeah,
Couldn't do it, man. That's
take a
an
break.
ethics problem. Yeah, that would be an ethics issue. So you
Okay.
get that stress on top of everything else of like, oh, I gotta go waste my Sunday selling Dianetics books. You go there grumpy. You
Yeah.
gotta play. You gotta play happy. It really, it's so
See,
aggravating.
that actually helps me in case I do see them around.
Yeah,
And now I can see it from your
Empathy.
point, hey, listen, they probably really
Yeah,
don't want to
nice.
be there.
Nice. And then it was a pain in the ass to bring everything over. I don't know. Some places might have their own truck, but man, we'd have to find a car, where to put the table, and all that shit. And I hated it. I didn't like when I was in that mode of thought. I didn't hate the mission of selling books, but that whole procedure, you'd be all sweaty.
Yeah, it's hot in Florida. Shit, you guys got to be dressed up too.
Oh yeah. No, when we were down in
when I would sit down there, it
Massachusetts.
was like 105 degrees out.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there with a shorts and a t-shirt, sunbathing on the just sitting there across the street from the Fort Harrison. These guys are walking down with black pants on, and I'm like, and some had long sleeves on. I was like, damn, ain't you sweating out here? I'm like, wow, it's hot. Sometimes I felt bad. I was like, damn, that sucks to be sitting there like
dude.
that. And this
It really does. It really
and then
does.
I said to myself, oh, maybe the buildings are air conditioned and it's cold in there, so they're coming out. I don't know. I didn't know what the frick they
AC is big in Florida, that's for sure.
Yeah, AC. From what I remember when I was a kid growing up, I know AC is kind of like a mandatory. They have to have
mandatory. It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like here, it's mandatory to have heat.
Yeah. Like you could get a job easy if you're looking for like a career. Just go, hey, let me get into AC.
You got it made in the shade. Then you open up a business doing air conditioning and shit. You're good down there.
Everyone needs
air conditioning and landscaping. That's why I said when I started landscaping.
Nice.
I said to myself, I said, you know what? If I really wanted to do this year round, I'd have to move to Florida because it's definitely year round.
There's a lot of landscaping here. There is a lot of landscaping.
Here it's only seasonal. Right now, they're probably just going to do one more cut and then that's it. And they're done until April.
Yeah, it's true. Right. Trim the trees and all that.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to read a couple more comments here. So I know Crazy Love said, heck, there's even an organization now committed to advocates and protesters. That's right. I guess we have
a whole organization.
You know what, though? You just brought me again to a topic. I want to hear what you have to say, and those listening. I think it's like maybe like a sore spot, but I think it needs to be looked at.
Okay.
Maybe it's just all in my head. So I want to get Scientologist staff off of staff. Okay. And also any Scientologist to wake up to the abusers. That's it. Now,
and that's like I said, I'm more than happy to help you too with that. If you need to hide, bro, hit me up.
Sure.
Hide them here.
Here's the issue.
And they'll be safe.
That's awesome. Now here's the
I've been trying to get this out there too. I'm like, come on, listen to what I'm saying.
You are. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting there. We're making steps. But my issue is this. I'm a bit like taken aback. Like I'm like, where do I send these staff members? I'm not happy with the SPTB Foundation, Aaron.
Me neither.
I'm just not happy with him. Sorry, I don't think he should.
That's
be
why
president.
To step in.
But I am gonna. Say it again.
That's like I said. I'm not happy with SPTV Foundation either, and that's why I said if they need help leaving. There was somebody that we were talking to in MD Media's chat. I was like, listen, get in touch with me, dude. I'll help hide that person here. I don't care.
That's cool. Now I do want to say something though. I think it deserves credit. You have to give credit where credit is due. Despite disagreeing with Aaron's behavior,
right?
He did create 2 foundations, and those are the only foundations we have to get staff out.
Yeah, foundation. That's the unfortunate part.
I know, but that's credit where credit's due. Can he run them? No.
Okay. Right.
It's been proven he can't run them from many people's point of view. But I'm not here to harp on Aaron.
And his actions too, so.
Yeah, I'm just saying he is the one who created both of those foundations, and we know the rest of the story. But I just want to say that I feel a little like timid of like, do I promote the Aftermath Foundation? We know about Mike Rinder and, disagreeing with, him not speaking out on what he did
Yep.
and giving more data. I get that. But do I still bring one to there? And I think I should if I want to get the product. Like, I'm so interested in these staff members having a place to go. Like, they need to know, oh, okay, I will go.
Right.
I have
Do I have
confidence. Yeah, we need to get that confidence.
Yeah, you got
And
to build back their trust too.
yeah, there you go. That's it. You just nailed it. You
Yeah,
just nailed it.
and that could be very, very hard to do.
Yeah. Now, I will say, Apostate Alex did a fantastic job.
That was
And
great.
he represents the Aftermath Foundation. And that's cool. Hey, you know what? You're showing actions and you're showing what you can do to help the group. Phenomenal job, man. I could never do what he did. I'd be just too disorganized.
Right.
So actually, I want to read what some of the people have to say here.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's see here. I didn't on Aaron in that foundation either. Now, Crazy Love is Love says, but those are two foundations that have failed and are not transparent with the community that supports the foundation. Okay. See, there's some details I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it from my view on the surface.
Right.
On the surface, I want to promote both of them. They're being run. Can they get Scientologists out?
That's the
relatively quickly. Can they get the product? And if they can, isn't that worth promoting? Or do we look at the adversary of who's in it to put a stop to it? Because that's a stop. I don't have confidence to send them there. So I'm going to what? It's like a dam into the whole flow. Like, you want that flow going. You want that confident flow. And unfortunately, unfortunately, these events, for me, have created a mistrust or a apprehension in who do I send to.
Right.
And I just want to say my spiel on that. I think other people agree with me on that to some degree. I'm going to read what they say here. They don't want to go out of the frying pan and the frying pan
into the fire. Right. So they don't want to come out and then get stuck into another brainwashing cult type.
Oh,
situation.
I see. Good point, Kirbys Mom. Nico says, hey, dropping some love. We'll replay later on. Thank you, Nico. Amy said he said his goal wasn't to end the cult, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is a tricky phrase because if we look at it objectively, in simple terms, Scientology is a religion in the United States, unfortunately.
It's labeled
So
as
when you say like, I'm going to end Scientology, that's like a hate thing, it comes out wrong for some people.
Yeah.
What has been done very well by Serge and many other people is just a little bit more specific, like end the child abuse, and the child SA, and
get the kids out. If an adult wants to do what they say,
yeah, fuck that. Yeah, they want to go play.
Go right ahead. You want to do all that? Go right ahead, but leave the kids out of it.
Yeah, I remember somebody said that years ago. Not years ago, last year. I don't know if it was Laura FM or not, but that was a really good point. I remember hearing that. And yeah, man, let them go frolic in their past life emitter trail.
They want to sit there and brainwash each other about, by all means, but don't do it to children because you just destroyed a child. And now look at how many have left.
Yeah.
Because they were brought up into it.
Yep. They
were raised.
That's horrific. I'm hearing these stories for a whole year, and it's just horrific. I wanted to say that when It said I want to end the cult. I get that. I do too.
Oh yeah.
But when you got, I think it just has to be phrased a bit more. Like, I'm not here to end Scientology. I'm here to end the abuse.
The abuse.
Yeah, that seems to be more specific.
Right.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like if you're it seems to me like from what I'm learning too, if you're a woman in Scientology, man, I pray for you because women get treated like shit in that cult.
Well, they get treated like they get treated equal, but I'm talking being yelled at, being called sir. They get called sir. I know. When I first heard that, I was like, "What? Okay."
Okay,
And
that's definitely not military style. I'll tell you that much.
What
A
is the
woman is a
military
ma'am,
style?
and a man is a sir.
Yeah, Amy says something really important. Yes, I agree. In my opinion, ending the abuse ends the cult. It sure does.
Yes.
Completely correct.
Yes.
Completely correct. This fire's burning and there's so much more to come. They can't stop it. I really feel that. It's an awesome fire. They can't stop what's coming.
No.
And David Miscavige probably has his plans all set, what to do. He's got it all laid out for years now, I'm sure. He's got it all laid out. Here's my escape route. Here's this, here's that, and
it makes you wonder about all that tunnel stuff they got down there in LA. Like, where else are there tunnels?
Yeah.
I don't think they could do anything sort of like that here in the city, in New York City. But then
I
again,
don't know.
who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Right. They had so much money for all those decades. The 80s, the 90s,
And it's like this building
really
here in
started the
Suffolk County.
90s.
That building was $15.2 million to purchase that. That's what it cost them to buy it. That's a lot of money. $15.5 million.
And where did it come from? I saw this stuff firsthand. The fundraising for the Ideal Orbs. It is a trauma show. It's so horrible because I don't know if you'd ever seen Scientology regging, like when they reg you for money or anything. They do what they call hard sell, and it's a reference by Lafayette. I don't like to call him Hubbard. I don't like to call him by his fucking name. I just call him by his first name, Lafayette. Who he really is.
Yeah, right. Elron, like where the hell did that come from?
I know, Lafayette, that's his first name. So, what the hell was I talking about?
I understand.
Hey, an interviewer who has ADHD and other things, it's challenging, right?
Yeah. Elcon, there you go. Amy just said it. Elcon.
Oh, Elcon, there you go. Yeah, Elcon's a good one.
And look, Steven said too, Amy M said, and she's right. There's bunker already set for him, for Miscavige.
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh,
he's got a hiding place. Like, that's like my thing. Like, say the military decided to get into the middle of this.
Oh, I wish, dude.
They're going to hunt him down, and they'll hunt him, and they'll hopefully find him. They're going to want
I love conspiracies.
Him.
Yeah,
the military wants him. You know what I mean? That's who they're going to want. They want him. Where is he? Where's he hiding? Let them
check this out. I love conspiracy theories. I don't believe all of them, but I like to theorize and see possibilities. Like, what if David Miscavige is one of the ringleaders of the child trafficking? Because he has direct routes. He has the routes. He commands the routes.
Yeah.
And he's working with these other criminals, like these other kingpins. It is a network. And he has the recordings of all these stars and other people, all their confessions. They're recorded on video doing this. I remember when that was installed in the, was it 90s or 2000s, where they never did that before. They never had video, but now they started doing it with like hidden cameras and shit. And the reason was for technical perfection, so we can make sure that the auditor is doing everything correctly. So we can
Oh, wow.
see, man, and all the orgs I think have that now. I'm not positive, but at least all the ideal orgs, I think.
Right.
That'd be an interesting question, actually, if the ideal orgs have those hidden cameras or if they're open, like if they have the camera there.
Right.
Blackmail material, just P. Diddy all the way. Hey, John Travolta, don't go out. You know the blackmail. We got you with yada 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 yada. I'm just theorizing, but it makes you wonder just how deep this goes, and I think it goes that deep.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's, scared shit, but money and power. Let's just hope. Hey, you know what though? It proved it with P. Diddy. You know what? Despite the money and power, justice can still happen.
Yeah, I mean, we can only hope and pray it does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sorry, I got
no problem.
One of the veterans in here just texted me.
Oh, sure, no problem.
But it's all right. He's good. Just later on needs my help. That's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
He's in a wheelchair. He's only got one leg, so I just helped move his chair for him.
Good for you. That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, anyone in the audience have any questions or would like to say anything?
Any questions? I'm game to answer them.
Yeah,
any
same here.
Suggestions too, like
what
route we should go through for this, or who to contact. That's like my problem. Like I don't really know who the hell do I contact about all this.
I think that'll come. Like
in due time, I'm hoping it does.
Hey, remember too. This is again a problem that I have. Is who can you reach to? Like once I'm talking from my viewpoint, and I think it's important for SPD Foundation Aaron to listen to, or anybody else on that panel.
Yeah.
Is I don't have the confidence I should have to go contact your lawyer friend Zach for you, or for you to go contact your lawyer friend Zach.
Right.
Not that he's supposed to help you, but at least it should be an easy flow.
Yeah.
Like an easier flow instead of any, I don't know. I don't want to use the SPT Foundation because I disagree with Aaron, and that's just a stop, and it sucks.
It does. It is.
It sucks. So what do we do? Do we ignore that and just say, okay, I'm going to use you anyway, get your fucking boots on and get to work? Or what? Like, what do we do? Well, there is people who've gone to the SPT Foundation, and some have been rejected, and I guess some have not. I don't know the details of that. But it's an issue of confidence. And
yeah.
Let me read here. Not to get political, but a certain Scientologist spoke at a rally yesterday by the name of Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone, I can't stand that guy. A piece of shit.
Yep.
Hey, man. These guys are going to get what they deserve. Even if they escape, it's going to hurt their wallets. It's going to hurt their reputation. It's going to hurt so much. And they need to be thinking of their own escape plans, and I think they are. Like Grant Cardone, you don't think deep down in his mind he's saying, how am I going to get out of here? And when the shit hits the fan?
Yeah. That's, I think he's so invested into this that it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, he's got his kids in it. His daughter up there saying that, she's from another freaking life.
Oh, man, yeah.
Like, I mean, that's a child that was not even given a mind to think with on their own.
Oh, boy. No, you're right.
Sad. Very sad.
Yeah, it's complete indoctrination, complete belief.
And it's sad. She's very young, and she's a very beautiful girl, and it's a shame that she's up there portraying like she's an adult. And you got them dressed in these promiscuous clothing, like,
Yeah, yeah.
what are you doing that for? You're advertising this
Hey,
child,
sex,
basically.
yeah, sex sells. Sex sells, and brings money. I think in the future we'll have modesty come back again as a fashion.
Yeah.
Not that I mind any other styles, but I'm just saying.
Okay. Madison Square Gardens in New York City, Amy said, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know how
but here's the deal,
much
though.
more big events are going to be happening here in New York, because it is going to, we're a little scared with the weather right now because we've not had rain in over a month. And all of a sudden it's cold and then it's really, really warm. Like Halloween, it's supposed to be like 80 degrees here.
Oh yeah, about here too,
So
probably.
we're a little scared as to, I don't know how much more vendoring out I can do, because we may end up with a blizzard season.
I know, right?
Or we may not. We just may end up with some severe cold weather, but too cold to be out walking
Yeah,
around. We get down to the single digits here on the
yeah,
island,
yeah,
especially
exactly.
where I am. We go down to the single digits, sometimes like 7 degrees out, and you don't want to be out there.
Hey, I remember having a little crack on my windshield. It got so cold it stretched the whole,
Stretched it out,
windshield.
yeah,
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 so
because
cold.
everything freezes.
It's funny. Let me see. Yeah, it's fun opening, just having a good conversation. It's
Yeah,
nice to
of
talk to
course.
other
And
people.
it's good too. Like I like to do that too when I open up about a tough situation.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did. My therapist pointed that out to me. She's like, every time we sit here and talk about something serious and something major in your life, we vendor off afterwards into some sort of a funny conversation or something completely off the subject.
yeah, yeah.
And she said that's fine because that's all part of a healing process as well.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and it helps. It does help because it gets your mind off it for a minute, because you can go through the emotion. I go through the emotions and the feelings. I was always good at too. I was always good at hiding my emotions, and I used to be a very, very quiet teenager.
Yeah, me too. Me
Like, you
too.
didn't hear much from me
Yeah,
when I was a kid.
I was very like that. Yeah, I was very introverted.
Yeah, I was very to
And
myself. I had tons of friends, don't get me wrong, that I
yeah,
hung
I had my
around with.
group. I had
But
my little pack.
I had a friend of mine, me and him, we used to just sit there and we would talk amongst ourselves as we were with a group of friends, but then all of a sudden we would shut completely down and not talk at all.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
sit there, do whatever we were doing.
Hey, I'm the same way. It's funny.
Yeah.
And some people who are very extrovert, they don't see it,
No, they don't. You're right. They
No.
don't.
Well, we don't see them either. Like, it's like, yeah,
No.
I could be extroverted, but
Yeah.
the reasons. So I
Yeah.
want to say hi to Holly. She's a Scientology geek. She's awesome. Have you ever met?
Oh, Scientology. Yes, I follow her.
That's great.
I do occasionally jump up there and I watch when she's on. Sometimes I'm always, some people that go on live, I'll have their live stream playing, but I can't interact because I'm running around doing something, but I'm always on there, and I always hit the like button and give you that view. Not a problem with me. Part of sharing the love in the community, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. 1 second here. Sorry. All right. Yeah, let's see. Nice. So yeah, we're just here to get some extra conversation going now,
In New Haven, yes. Scientology Geek was in New Haven. I was watching that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, with Manning, yes. See, that's why I wish I would have known he was in New York City. I would have met right up with him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, she did an amazing protest out there. Good job for her. Kudos. Yes,
So it's one of is it his latest video?
Manning's?
Yeah.
No, Manning's latest video is New York City.
Okay, but was with Holly? Was that
No,
recorded?
I mean, he went there by himself.
Yeah.
He went to New York City by himself. I think Scientology.
That's pretty good.
I think she's Chicago. No, she's
No, she's in Rhode Island. Yeah,
New Haven, right? Yeah, she's the other direction. Sorry, I got
Connecticut.
confused
Yeah.
because he did go to do Chicago too, I think, at one point.
Wow.
So
I'd
he's
like to see
traveling
that.
around. So keeping it like
Good.
it seems to me like he's keeping it in the north.
Hey, good
So
job,
you guys
Holly.
do it.
Thank you.
They have a lot of protesters out in LA. There's tons out there, and honestly, I don't see anybody in New York City protesting other than him just recently. There were a few videos out, but they were old videos, and it was a while ago. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know, but basically, like I said, the New York City people, you know, the community, the general population is like, yeah, we already know about that crap. So
Yeah, that's so good.
it's like, how much protesting do we really need? We know, you know, other
And
than to help shut it, other than actually, maybe this is something I'm going to explore myself, which I think might be good, is trying to get more people in New York City involved in helping us get it shut down.
yep.
You know what I mean? And get the
Yeah,
word
yeah.
out,
Talk,
you know?
talk, talk. Keep on talking. Keep on doing
Yeah, let
interviews.
them get.
Here's an
That's why I
idea.
wish he was out there and interacted with some of the people and been like, "Hey, you know, you want to help this movement? Join us." You know,
Yeah,
there
here's
were
an idea.
people that said to him, "Oh, I'm following a few pages. I see that. I see what's going on."
Oh,
So,
that's nice.
so it's out there, and that proves to me that it
Wow.
is really out there, which was
They're
great.
following a few pages, like a few channels.
A few channels, and they're
Oh
watching it,
man, a
and
few
yep,
strangers doing that is nice.
yep, yeah, it's great.
I had an idea, which, if you like it or not, is when you talk to these strangers, talk to these people who have never been in, ask them if they want to do an interview and say, you can tell me what you think of Scientology, where you heard it from. Just so like a normal public, not I called public, it's a Scientology term, but you know, a normal person, uh, you can get their frame of mind.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah,
the more we see that, the more it's going to spread.
yeah, yeah.
With the small guy, yeah, don't
I
matter.
actually do have a question for you.
Yeah, cool.
When you left Scientology, did you find it hard to get back into the way the real world basically is?
I'll tell you, no, no.
Like
I'll tell you,
adjustment wise?
well, because I live in the real world while on staff.
Okay.
I had to pay rent. I had to buy my food. You know, I had to pay for the bus transportation and all that. So, and growing up, I didn't get into it until I was 20. So I had all my teenage years and everything in Massachusetts, and I was very accustomed to it. And
Okay.
so when I couldn't wait to leave to get my life back, you know,
Gotcha.
and when I did finally leave, especially from the location to Florida, that's where I really felt free. And yeah,
Now, when you were in Florida, you were in Clearwater,
no,
right?
no,
Oh.
no. I was never in Clearwater. No, I
Oh.
lived.
Okay.
I moved in with my parents. You know,
Oh, okay.
I went through that divorce, which I went over in the interview I
Yeah.
did, and um, I came here to just detach and to restart. That's exactly what I needed, and it took years to get there.
Yeah. Of course.
Years. And this is a pinnacle point. Like what we're doing right now is a very pinnacle point for me, is to be here on a camera live talking about my experiences and sharing it with so many people.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
how great is that? It's so great. And I try not to say anything in vain. Like I may be angry, but I try not to embellish anything. I try to just say the truth from what I've seen. And
Right.
yeah, I think that's the best that we can all do, is actually say your own truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing
Right. Right.
slanted, nothing, business wise, not trying to get more clicks or likes by saying the other, the best thing. Just be honest. That's all we could do. I
Yeah.
think it's the best thing we could do.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's my point of starting a channel myself. You know, I debated
Yeah.
it for a very long time. is to just get the message out there some way, somehow.
Yeah,
You know, you never know who's watching. It could be somebody of importance that can help us, you know,
that's right.
get the
Yeah,
ball on the roll, basically.
absolutely. Yep. And hey, any of you guys have any questions for me or Lee? We love questions. We're in the mood for them.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody's got any types of questions, please feel free to ask. Ask away. Even if it has to do with some of my experiences as a child, feel free to ask. I'm more than open to answer.
Mm. Hey, I got an interesting point I wanted to clear up. Like, what's his name? Cubs champion 16. He's in the Boston org. He's been
Yeah.
filming the Boston org. I mean, that's my home area.
Right, right.
And you know, I've been apprehensive to protest there because I don't want to attack. Uh,
Yeah.
and a lot of those people I have affinity for. Like I know them, and most of them I care for. Some of them were just pieces of shit, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's hard for me to be like confronting them with any kind of aggression. Me personally, I don't care about what other people do. They can talk to them any way they want, but they know me. And for me to have the biggest impact on these staff members from Boston, it's like I think some of them have seen me on YouTube.
Okay.
They can mock me if they want. You know, they probably looked at my past videos and told me what a degraded being I am and all this. That's what they do.
Yeah, I was
But
just gonna say that. That's what they do.
yeah, but now, um, you know, I want them to just know, like, I don't know how to phrase it, but they care about them, and I want them to take a good look at what's going on right now. It's not every other protest, and things are going to get pretty hot.
Oh yeah.
You should probably think about what you're going to do. I want you to be able to open your eyes and be able to see what's happening with Scientology right now. It's bad.
Yeah, it's
Like I want
terrible.
them to leave, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, there's a whole spiel I could do on that, but I just wanted to give some expression, you know, to any
Of
of who's
course.
watching, anyone from Boston. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, I do love you guys, and
Yeah, it's
I know
like
what
the
it's like.
same here. Anybody that, you know, and I mean, the honest thing, I don't know anybody that's ever gotten involved in Scientology that lives here in New York or on Long Island for that matter.
Hmm.
You
Hey,
know?
Kirbys Mom. So she says, can we put Henry's GoFundMe in the chat to help him with his legal fees?
Yeah,
I,
Henry's still battling in LA.
I don't know anything about Henry. Sorry. I can watch
Oh,
what I can watch, you know. I don't have
yeah,
up to date.
Henry's battling a case out there in LA. Henry is from Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, okay.
And he was arrested for, honestly, in my honest opinion, he was arrested for no reason. He was taking garbage that was on the public side of an easement and moving it out of the way so people were not in danger.
Yeah, yeah.
And now you're arresting him, charging him. I don't remember what exactly his charge was, but you know, now that's a battle he's got to sit there and battle. He got to hire an attorney. Attorneys are expensive.
Yeah.
You know, some of them are like $600 an hour. You know, that's like, come on, man. How do you, you know, and they're causing all kinds of problems. You know what? The thing that bothers me the most is Scientology wastes so much taxpayers' money. How is the general public not getting involved with this? Wouldn't
Yeah.
that piss you off to see how much of our tax money they really are wasting?
Hey, I had an idea. I'm always full of ideas. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
I
no,
get
you're
these
good.
spontaneous ideas.
Yeah.
Is what if just what if you did a video just explaining that situation to the people,
Yeah.
and then you post it around your area or wherever where people can easily go and look at it.
Right.
So you'll have, I don't know how many people, but they read it and go, oh, let me look that up. And they can see directly that video, 5 minutes long, whatever, explaining that exact situation.
Yeah.
Um,
Bring more
can you
awareness
believe this is
to
happening?
taxpayers.
This is what's going on. And just an idea. That's all.
No, that's a good idea. Bring more awareness to the taxpayers. And,
Yeah.
now that they've got this new building, our tax is going to pay for your building to sit there and rot. You know what I mean? Or are you going to fill it up and then cause all kinds of commotion here on the island? In that hamlet where they are, that's a hamlet. Huntington, where that
What
is, that's a hamlet.
what's Hamlet? What's that?
So, in other words, when you're here on Long Island, we are we deal with counties and towns and hamlets. Hamlets are your upper middle class,
Okay.
very dainty, like
Yep.
you get a lot of nasty attitude too
Yeah.
because they got money.
Yeah.
They moved themselves into a very, very ritzy upper middle class neighborhood, which is very concerning to me. But then again, their outcome in the city is not that great. New Yorkers are not stupid. We know bullshit. We're not dumb. And I don't, that's the thing. I don't like, I'm not gonna make it a point. If it's gonna sit there and remain empty, I'm not gonna make it a point to go there once a week. I'll pop up once a month and walk past, see if there's anything going on.
I think it's awesome. Look, I don't think they know about it. Nobody knows about this shit. Like, if you were to put it out there and say, look what your tax money's been paying for 20 fucking years,
Yeah.
or for whatever time, I think that some of them would be like, yeah, you're right. And they would participate in whatever way. Even if it's by conversation, that's participating. They could be
Yeah.
at work and just say, hey, check this out, da 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 da. And they go, Scientology.
The problem too that I see with some of the Scientologists that are in and the protesters are approaching them, even when you approach them in a nice manner, like say for instance, Kelly, she's out there in LA protesting and she has come over and sit here and talk to me. I'm a compassionate human being, We want your input. We you know what I mean? We want your opinion and things.
Exactly.
And it's like they can't even do that. That right there ought to tell people, and them in there. But then it goes back to showing you how brainwashed they really are. It's like they can't snap themselves out of that brainwash sense and come back to reality, whereas someone like myself, you, and others can.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's Kirbys Mom did say he has a charge of felony vandalism.
Okay.
And could face up to 1 year in prison.
Okay.
That's
so who can post it? Who can post the link?
Yeah,
Anybody else?
if someone can post that up there, by all means, I don't mind.
Yeah, by all means, post it.
Help, he needs the help.
Kirbys Mom, if you can post it on this chat, go for it.
I don't know how to do it through.
Yeah, I don't either.
StreamYard,
because it doesn't have a bar for me to write something. But
okay.
Yeah, by all means, please.
Yeah, definitely. If somebody in the chat can do that, go right ahead. He needs our help.
Yep.
So.
And then we have this, which is so amazing. They never expected. I mean, this is old news, but Scientology never expected us to back each other up like we're doing. Like, we are backing each other up so good, like a true movement.
Right.
It feels good, man. I've never been part of something like this. It does feel good.
Right. It's like, people are backing each other up in this. And now what's happening is you're backing them into a corner.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, you push a stray cat into a corner and you're going to get attacked. So you kind of got to be careful too,
Yeah.
as to how it's approached. In my eyes, in my own opinion, you know, it's like, you got to kind of be, you're going to back them into a corner, but be very, very alert as to anything in that sense, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of viewpoints as a staff when I saw opposition. And that just came to mind, you know, and I think you've heard this before, but like the direct yells of like, it's a cult, you'll hear that forever. And you just blank out on it because we're trained with the TRs and whatever to be numb to that. They like to call it, you know, Scientology calls it confronting. No, it's not. It's just not. You're not there comfortably. You're just numb to it. You're listening, but you're not getting any reaction. You're making yourself numb to it.
Right.
You know, and you just have your smile and your, you know, your etiquette all there staged. It's all robotic.
It's so sad.
It's
sad to see that how they like when I remembered being down in Clearwater as a young adult, and how they walked down the up and down Fort Harris, and I was just like, I don't get it. I don't understand why you don't see the real world. You believe this whole alien. I don't get it. I could never grasp it. And I could not read that damn book for the life of me.
No, I read up to chapter 2 and I was done.
I didn't even get that far. I swear to God.
It was bad. It was bad.
I was like, I don't understand this. And I would lose interest. And don't get me wrong. I pulled out, like I found in one of my local libraries, there was another book in there by L. Ron Hubbard. So I said, well, let me read this. Still, I couldn't get what the hell was even being going on. I don't remember now. Like normally if I read a book, I'll remember the whole book. I couldn't tell you for the life of me what the hell I read in that because I didn't understand it.
Well, I
didn't gain my interest.
Well, here's the funny thing, in my opinion, with Dianetics. I believe it's designed really well to implant you or any reader, to implant you with the fake truth that there's a reactive mind.
Oh, okay.
Now when you have that as a reality, in which it's not, there is no reactive mind. No. He made that up. Wow. And he made his own fancy words with it and scientific bullshit with it. And it was put up to test. The Psychiatric Association did deny it because it was laughable. It's not based on science. It may have some Freudian things in there or some basic psychotherapy in there, but he put his own twists in it. And he created this real thing called reactive mind.
Okay.
And when you buy that and you take it as real, and you go into their cults of Scientology, their buildings, and you see these people wearing nice clothes and walking fast and being like, oh, I need those statistics right away. And you're like, wow, this place is, you know, they're taking it serious. And then you meet a clear, oh, he's clear over there. And you're like, oh, wow, okay. You know, it's this illusion. It's just an illusion because clear doesn't exist. When you hear the clear cognition, it's, I'm no longer mocking up my own reactive mind.
Okay, I've heard that explained to me when I was.
I'm no longer mocking up my own reactive mind, and I'm not doing it anymore. That to me just is the hoodwink right there. Like I should just wake you up and go, what is this bullshit? Because when you come to your realization, they don't tell you, they're waiting for you. So you keep on giving them money. When you come to your own realization, hey, you know, I'm not creating my reactive mind anymore.
Right.
You're creating it because he put that idea in your head.
Mm.
There is no reactive mind. He put that idea in your head, and you're like chasing something that doesn't exist. You're in a
Wow.
complete trap. And so when as a staff and everything, you're like, wow, look at these clears, and look at these people. But
Right.
they believe it, they believe it. Or they don't, and they're staying quiet.
Yeah.
And that's the way I see it. And if anyone wants to stay, if they think that's accurate or have another opinion about it, I am not tech trained.
Right.
I'm sure somebody like Serge or somebody could really detail that out too.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that's the way I see it. And again, that's just Dianetics. Never mind Scientology and all their terms and all their shit. Oof. Now, the really deceiving part of the organization to me was seeing the other people.
Okay.
So when you're there as a lowly staff member, but you feel like you have purpose and you're better than them because, and they tell you that, like, yeah, you're stronger than them because you're on staff.
Right.
You get this like mentality. You'd see these clears and OTs walking around, and you just say like, wow, they must know some crazy truth, all this whole track experience, all this amazing stuff, like they've lived it again.
Right.
They really puts the illusion and delusion there of like how epic and amazing it must be. But when I re-looked at that, last year or whatever, I've kind of come to the conclusion that these OTs, like, I think they know it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm just being gullible or what, but like, it's so stupid. The OT levels are so dumb when you look at their end phenomena, when you look
Right.
at what they achieve. You're like, how do they not know?
Not know
And how do
that.
they not back off a little bit and go,
Right.
Some people do, actually. There's plenty of OT3s out there, and they call them stalled on the bridge. And these are people who have not moved on the OT levels for years
Oh
or
wow.
decades
That's how
after
they keep
doing
them there.
after doing OT3. Is because OT3 is so damn stupid with Xenu and all that shit that they're like, you know what, man, I'm not spending more money on this, but I'll keep quiet and I'll pretend, because if I get out, I'm going to lose all my friends and business associates,
Yeah.
and family.
And family. Yep.
What a trap, right? What a trap.
Yep.
So you see it, I'm looking at it, and I'll see these OTs walking around, and I'm thinking, what do they really think?
Right.
Are they thinking, I can't say anything because I'm trapped? Are they saying, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, and this is the truth and the way?
Right.
Like, I don't think so, but maybe some
Yeah.
of them are out there probably like really trapped, and I've seen plenty.
Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes. I feel like that's like we were saying earlier. We were talking about it earlier, it seems to me like they're so brainwashed that they are making themselves believe it because they know it's BS. Or maybe they have high hopes that the next level better than that one.
Well, you're dealing with spirituality, the realm of spirituality, and people get drawn to that, including myself.
Oh, yeah.
And they see that, they smell the scent of that, and they want to go look and be curious.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I was saying that, but anyway.
I remember. I know, right? I remember when I was down in Florida. I remember them. I think it was in one of the shops they had over there. It was a Scientology store in downtown Clearwater, across from the Fort Harris.
Yeah.
Something about the eighth dimension.
It's dynamic.
Dynamic. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what that is?
I have no clue. I
Okay.
tried asking. Someone tried explaining it to me when I was young, and I had no clue what they were talking about.
Well, I think it's one of the first basic tenets they teach you as a brand new Scientologist. They'll even teach you walking in. They can teach you as a brand new person. It compartments life into 8 sections.
Okay,
And
okay, okay.
scientifically, it's presented pretty cool. Like you can get into it. Like, oh, I can help compartment my life. But what happens is Hubbard's policies put in which ones are most important and which ones aren't. And he'll put the third dynamic, which is groups, which is, Scientology, as super important over your first dynamic, which is self. So the first dynamic is self, second dynamic is family, third dynamic is group, fourth dynamic is mankind, and on and on. I don't want to give a lesson in Scientology.
Yeah,
But
right. No, because I
but I want
actually
to give you the
remember
concept
questioning
though.
someone about it.
Now the eighth dynamic is the God dynamic, and he says, or the infinity dynamic. I guess whatever faith you have or whatever thoughts you have fits that eighth dynamic. It's very encompassing to really bring anybody in.
Right,
Oh, we're non-denominational. We believe in people's rights to speak freely and think freely. It's a complete lie.
right.
But hey, I'm going to start reading some comments here.
Sure,
I w-
sure.
So Amy M says, so she keeps calling in to the meetings.
Yes.
That's how she's backing them into a corner. And that's so true. Yeah, that's awesome, Amy.
Yeah.
Really awesome. Maybe one day I'll
That's
do that. I don't
backing
know.
them into a corner. This is coming out publicly.
Yeah,
And
right.
those meetings are recorded.
That's good. That's good. Really good.
Yep.
Cricket says you're doing an excellent job with that, Amy. Excellent. Kirby's
Yeah,
mom.
that's hard to do too.
Kirby's mom, it says, if you are able, please support Henry Marini GoFundMe to help with his legal fund against a bogus charge by Scientology.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're able to, or you can post something about it in your comments or whatever you feel you want to do.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
oh, okay. Only mods can post links.
Yeah, only a
Okay.
mod can post up
I,
the
I have to look
GoFundMe.
up. Yeah, I gotta look up mods, how they work, like how to make somebody a mod. I'm sure it's pretty
I
easy.
don't know if let me see. No. Yeah, you can't do it through this. I could do it
No.
on my page. Oh, you brought up the comment thing.
Oh, that's
Okay,
cool.
cool.
That's cool. I didn't know how to do that. So let
And
me
neither
do that.
did I.
Nice. You just double tap it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, nice. All right. Look
All
at
right,
me.
we're learning
We're
as we
learning.
go here, you know.
I know. Instead of my robot reading,
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's how I am.
All right. And let me see here. I guess you can Google. You can Google Henry, and his full name is right there. GoFundMe. That's one way
And
to
I
do it.
think he has his GoFundMe on his YouTube channel as well. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like pretty sure about that.
All right, this is from Kirbys Mom. Well done, Amy. You are getting better and better on the Zoom calls. Would you consider going back and doing a paralegal course online, maybe? Okay.
He has it on his community post. Okay.
Let me read here. Uh, yeah, it's true, Amy. You can learn anything you want nowadays. Anything's accessible as far as you doing courses. That's from Corby's mom. Okay, that's cool. Well, all right. I'm thinking of wrapping up pretty soon in a few minutes. Is there anything else though? I'll stay, if you got some questions or any other things you want to discuss. I'm all for it. Anyone? Anyone? Oh, oops. I don't know what happened. Hey, I guess that's the end of the interview. But wait, maybe she'll come back. I don't want to end it like that. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. I'm just seeing if Lee comes back. Yep, here she is. Here we go.
I don't know what happened there. All
There
of a
we
sudden,
go.
it started buffering.
Hey, that was cool. That was a good practice. How do I recover you on the page? It was nice.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
this
little
is all a
practice.
learning experience for us
That's
right
right.
now.
That's right.
You know.
Well, I was thinking of ending it off pretty soon.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to say or anything that anybody else wants to say?
Feel free to give us any type of advice that you feel would help with the movement and
You
in
can,
our situations. Any suggestions, any comments would be great. Could contact either one. It could contact me. Could contact the Holy Rogue. We'll be
yep.
more than happy to figure something out.
Yeah, man.
Help get that. Like you said, you want to help try to get staff out. That would be great.
No
That'd be
kidding.
great. I'm more than happy to help out in any way I can too.
I know there's definitely there's got to be impinging things. I know there is. I just got to figure it out and write down my own concepts.
Okay.
And we'll just get more and more effective of how to impinge to these staff members.
Yeah.
Because they're in the real world. You can show them stuff.
Right. And they can
Sea
learn that,
Organs are different.
and
Sea
hopefully they
Organs are
can wake
locked up.
up.
Yep. And I've been on that end when I'm like, I want to get out of here. I've known friends on staff who were like, I don't want to be here, and we feel trapped. So there is a routing form. They'll say, the cult will say, anyone can leave at any time.
Right.
There's a routing form you can do, and I did those routing forms. It take forever. You got to do all this bullshit. Just get out of there. That's all.
Yeah.
Just get out of there. Say, hey, no thanks. See ya. Whatever you want to say. Say, I got the truth finally. And just show him some truth. Show him some videos. Show him some. I like the LRH policy on. We say LRH for short, for L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
I would love to get that out of my head. LRH. I hate that. We've been saying that shit for years. But Lafayette, he's got his policies on not to do fundraisers, and like the stuff that David Miscavige is doing is like exactly against a policy. And to be against Hubbard's policies is like sin. It's very hardcore.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
interesting.
yeah. Who pointed that out to me was Holly, Scientological geek.
Okay.
Scientology geek, and she really pointed that out. And I could see this like a poster board of that policy letter, and just say, boom, like try to copy it and put it on, because they're green ink on white paper, and just get that but blown up,
Yeah.
and just show that policy for these staff members to look at, and
Yeah.
you'll have situations where they can't help but look at it. Because it will eat away. It'll be the worm in their mind, because they're going to be in a session, or they'll be on course, and they'll get on that meter, and that shit's going to be bugging them, even if they're trying to bury it.
Yeah.
No, it was fine now. Boom, it's going to pop up at times, and it's going to read on that meter, and the auditor has to take it up
Okay.
to a floating needle, to a whatever, and They're gonna have to talk all about it. Yeah, I saw this guy go by. Yeah, he had this sign. It was a policy letter. It was this. This is what it was called. And they'll have to look at it. And that would be a
Yeah.
great situation to create inside an
Oh, yeah.
auditing room. It would be fantastic, and it'd be like this great piece of truth to them. It'd be a piece of truth that cracks
Yeah.
the facade. Like, yeah, David Miscavige is not applying this right. Yeah, my life is miserable because of this.
Right.
And then it's a start. And then they realize what Scientology is and how deadly it is, how harmful it is. But yeah, I just want to keep on thinking of ideas to help staff get out.
Yeah, definitely. And whatever. Aw.
Yeah. This is Stella.
Aw.
Yeah, she's great. She caught a lizard yesterday. I say, in this house, man, you'll never have anything here. I
Me
got 2
neither.
cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me neither.
and,
I'll never have bugs or anything. My guys
no.
get them in like
Yeah,
2
man, it's
seconds.
awesome. Yep.
Yeah, I love my cats. They're my life.
Yep. What great comfort animals. It's therapy.
Yeah.
Great therapy.
Yeah.
I've got 2 cats and 1 dog.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, okay. How do you feel? Oh, wait. Let me read a little more here. Okay. Thank you, Amy. And Kirbys Mom says, when's part 3? Well, I'll just make it a brand new thing. I want to be part 2 to clear up any additional data for part 1. And we just started going on a roll. So I want to do more interviews with people who.
Yeah.
I'll start looking at the ones I want to do, and I'm going to send them an email.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm going to keep on going and
Absolutely.
see. Yeah,
Get the
at my
message
own
out.
pace and at our own pace. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, get the message out there, any way we can.
Yeah. Whew, I'm starving now. All right. Hey, awesome time. Hey,
Definitely.
email me anytime, okay?
Yes, same here. Same here.
Yep.
Anything else you need help with, like I said, I'm more than willing to help.
That's nice. All right.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks again for having me on.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All
Bye.
right. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.